What's good, YouTube? This is LG. This is L.Y.T.E, and thank you for tuning in with me. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here, so I hope you get something out of this experience together, alright? Either way it go, I hope everyone's doing well today. Stand blessed. If you do see this video, if you do see this video, I hope it kind of, you know what I'm saying, can maybe help you get through some moments that you're going through. Or just, a little entertainment. Either way. But before we get to this video, I want to drop a quote that I heard from a guy named, I believe his name is Henry David Thoreau. And excuse me if I butcher this, but I'm going to try, okay? Why should we be in desperate need to succeed and chase desperate enterprises? If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it's because he hears a beat of a different drummer. Let each man step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away. Hey, I've been trying to get through that, but hey, I think I made it, y'all. But let those words get into your head. Let each man step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away. So it kind of means stay in your lane, and we all get to that finish line, alright? But we're about to get to this banger video, y'all. A man with no friends or a very small circle is a very, very secure man. Words spoken by Denzel Washington. So I'm going to tune in. I hope we can all get some out of this video together. Everybody's been alone, popular, or alone in a popular crowd. You know what I'm saying? Life is tough at all times, but it's always sweet the same. That's what they say. You got to find the silver lining. It's difficult, but it is out there. But anyway, I ain't going to hold y'all too long. I'm going to get to this video. Let's check it out.
Who doesn't rely on friendships to feel strong. We're talking about a man who has learned how to stand on his own. A man with no friends is a man who's discovered a certain type of strength and peace within himself that many folks may never find. This isn't about being cold, distant, or a loner for the sake of being alone. No, this is about someone who has become secure in who he is. Someone who's learned to walk his path without leaning on others to validate or reassure him. In a world where everyone's shouting to be seen, to be heard, to be liked, a man who can stand without that is someone you don't see every day. Most people are afraid of silence, afraid of solitude, afraid of their own company because they're terrified of what they'll find. But a man who's comfortable on his own, he's someone who's spent time in that silence. He's a man who's looked in the mirror and faced what he sees, the good and the bad. He's asked himself the hard questions, the questions most of us are afraid to confront.
Do you confront yourself?
And he's found his answers.
Or do you just pass every problem you got off on somebody else and done something to you?
Within himself, he's secure because he's not looking outward for things that can only be found inside. A man who stands alone and is at peace with it, he knows the strength in solitude. See, when you're alone, when it's just you and your thoughts, there's no mask, no pretending, no need to put on a show for anyone.
That's the scariest moment for a lot of people, is being yourself with yourself.
And that's where the power is. A man who's secure in himself doesn't need people around to tell him who he is. He doesn't need constant validation, approval, or applause. He's not looking for someone else to give him permission to feel worthy. And because he's not caught up in trying to fit in or be liked, he's got the freedom to truly be himself.
Be yourself, man. Be yourself.
To develop an unshakable confidence in who he is. Now, friendships can be a beautiful part of life, don't get me wrong.
We all had an associate here now, you know what I'm saying? Every now and then, we all had a little friend.
To laugh with, to share moments with. But a secure man knows that his worth isn't determined by how many friends he has or how popular he is. He's not keeping score. He's got his eyes on the bigger picture. on a purpose that isn't swayed by social dynamics or the pressure to be a certain way just to keep people around. He's committed to his growth.
Excuse me real quick, y'all. I gotta say something real quick. You know me. It wouldn't be a reaction if I didn't say anything, correct? Okay then. Sometimes you gotta pull back, my people. Sometimes you do have to pull back to go where you're trying to go. That shit don't make no sense to some people, but it's like a slingshot effect. You gotta pull back to go forward. If you align with some great people in your circle, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? Keep them around or whatever. But sometimes people may go further when you're exposed. And you get to be exposed, or the one way to be exposed is to be alone. Because when you're alone, you can't point the finger over here to detour the attention away from this flaw or this flaw you may have. So being alone is not a crazy part. It's just that most people can't do it because they don't have that strength. That's why a lot of people out here joining gangs and crews, cliques, whatever. Because to be alone seems so difficult and scary to most people. Keep that in mind when you want to challenge somebody, but you run up with your crew and they might be by themselves dolo or something. That person might get up on you and take your whole clique head off. You don't know. But anyway, I ain't gonna hold you. Back to the video.
And if people come along who align with that, great. But he's not out there seeking approval or trying to collect people just to avoid being alone. He knows that a man's peace can't be measured by the number of people in his corner. Solitude is his teacher, his guide. When a man has the courage to sit with himself, he learns things about who he is that he wouldn't find in a crowd. He learns about his fears, his strengths, his weaknesses. And once he's looked those parts of himself in the face, nobody can shake him. He doesn't need anyone else to fill the gaps or mask the insecurities. He's worked through them on his own. He's faced them head on. And that's what gives him his strength. It's a strength that comes from within, not from the praise or presence of others.
Self-strength
A secure
is
man understands that
unmatched.
long friendships can actually weaken him.
When you don't have to depend on nobody else, let me
People with
tell
conflicting
you.
Values, people who don't respect
If you don't have a
his
strong
boundaries, people who bring
foundation,
drama or unnecessary complications into his life, those are people who will drain him.
nobody can't put nothing on your back because y'all both
And
gonna
a
fall
wise
through,
man
correct?
isn't about to let himself get caught up
Build
in
yourself before you can help
that.
anyone
He's
else.
selective because he respects his peace too much to throw it away on relationships that aren't good for him. And sometimes that means he ends up walking a quieter path, a more solitary path. But that solitude is rich, it's purposeful, it's peaceful. A man like that, he's not without empathy or connection. He knows how to connect deeply.
Man, let me tell you, man, for real. Been popular, play sports, all that good stuff. But I was always in my own head. Even during all those times out there just living life. I mean, I've touched it. Trust me. People might see me right now, just the average man, when I'm walking the streets and I'm out here working hard every day. But they will never know truly my story. Even people who know me or think they know me will never know truly my story in the adventures, the excitements, the downfalls, the tribulations that I've been through. But all that to say is that even though I don't walk with a big crowd, I'm never truly alone. So let that sink into your head. Get rid of that fear. You don't need these people. You may need love, and you might be looking for affection and all that, but you don't need these people. We all need to grow. We all need to figure out who we really are and what we want to be doing here. Then we can get back to the what's the word I'm looking for? Conclusion, or groups of people that we can get together and figure this out, figure that out. But right now, man, everybody's so one-sided and everybody think that their opinion is right and all this. That's cool. But you need to pull back and just figure out what we gonna do going forth, though. This shit ain't sweet for nobody. I kind of got off topic, but I'm just saying, though, we all going through a lot right now. So pull back and just try to get in your own mind for 1 second. Be like, I don't care who you voted for or whatever. Or if you like this person, like that person. But is that going to do anything better for you? Because we got to end up worrying about ourselves soon. But either way, I'm going to get back to this video. I got a lot to ramble about, but, you know, I ain't going to hold y'all, man. Y'all got things to do.
When he chooses to. But he's not so eager to share himself with just anyone. He values his time, his energy, his mind, and he's careful about who he shares those parts of himself with. When he does let someone in,
he trusts
because they respect who he is and what he stands for. He's not interested in superficial.
If you ever find someone like this, do not break their trust, though. I'm going to tell you right now, don't cross them.
And if that's not on the table, he's perfectly fine keeping to himself.
Because he good with that.
See,
you got to be happy with yourself.
Being alone is something to be fixed, something to avoid. But a secure man knows better. He knows that sometimes standing alone is exactly what a man needs to grow, to understand his worth, to build himself up from the inside out. And when a man truly knows his worth, he doesn't fear solitude. He doesn't need a crowd. He doesn't need to fit into some mold.
Whether you're making your first sale or your billionth dollar.
Man, come on, man. I'm trying to man, we got business to take care of right now. Y'all are trying to push some. Come on.
He's confident in his own path, in his own skin, and that makes him unshakable. This man, he stands solid because he understands that true self-respect is about what he knows to be true when he's alone, not about the noise that comes from outside. He's looked himself in the eye in moments of silence, moments of challenge. Are you
comfortable in your own skin within who you are? Because the people gonna judge how they want to judge. They're gonna have their opinions. They're gonna think what they want to think anyway, right?
That kind of self-reflection.
So stand in yourself and make yourself proud of who you are, correct?
That doesn't rely on the opinions of others. It's an unshakable confidence, one that's built from the inside out. Not from the fleeting approval that comes from those around him. This is a man who's walked through fire, who's been tested in ways that few will ever understand. He's had to confront
damn near drowned, been burned by fire,
his insecurities, and
been popped that, been impaled, all that crazy shit. But we still here, correct?
There's no need for applause.
What are you scared of? Your car done broke down. You been out there by yourself on the road with no gas and shit, correct? But you made it.
He's not looking.
So what are you scared of?
He's not out here trying to collect admirers or followers. He's moved past that phase in life where external validation feels like a necessity. He's come to a place of peace that only he can define, and that's what makes him secure. And in today's world, that's a radical thing. Society would have you believe that your worth is tied to how many people know your name, how many people like your photos, how many people are tuned in to what you're doing.
If you live your truth within yourself,
this man has separated himself from that.
And be that man that was curated to be here,
by his social circle, by how
they gonna know your name when you finish.
Or by how many people are interested in his life. His value, his sense of self-worth, is rooted in what he knows he's accomplished, in the strength of his character, and in the path he's chosen to walk. He understands that popularity doesn't equate to fulfillment. He's secure enough
popularity didn't equal happiness. Popularity really didn't put no money in my pocket.
It's something you carry.
I was taking care of a lot of people though.
With a steady heart. He's content in the quiet spaces of his life. Those moments when it's just him, the silence in his thoughts. He's not uncomfortable with his own company because he's made peace with who he is. He's worked to resolve his inner conflicts. He's faced his past. He's acknowledged his mistakes, and he's learned from them. So when he's alone. He's not haunted by regrets or unfinished business. He's at ease because he knows he's done the best he could with the hand he's been dealt.
Do the best you can with the hand you've been dealt. Stand up as a man.
With integrity, with
let people know how you
that transcends the need for outside approval.
Feel about things. And not necessarily a feeling, but if you don't like this, then tell people. If you like this, tell them you like that.
Without a crowd around him,
you don't need no one else's approval for your
he must be missing something.
Judgment or something that you may be into to be alright.
It reveals a mindset that places value.
As we see it now, all these celebrities and all these people that we idolize and all that shit, supposedly or whatever, that shit's falling, man.
He's not performing for an audience.
So who can be greater at what you want to be or do than you?
His choices, his journey, those are his alone. And he's content to walk his path without the need for others to validate it. He's not avoiding people. He's just not dependent on them to define his worth. He knows
stand with confidence.
Is quiet.
Look at another man eye to eye.
Display. It doesn't need a platform.
You don't have to be out here on some ha rah, you know what I'm saying, gorilla time. You ain't gotta be on that, you know what I'm saying. You know why? Because most people who be on that is scared anyway. They're scared of what you gonna do to them first. That's why they try to get you.
Something internal.
Come on, man.
This man has found his strength within, and because of that, he doesn't need to make a show of it. He's not broadcasting his achievements. He's not out here trying to impress. He's simply living in alignment with his values, and that's all the validation he needs. People may see him alone.
Man, that's fire, man. Hey, I'm gonna be 1,000, y'all. This is a great video. There's a lot more to this. You all can go check it out yourselves. Like I said, here's the title right here. A man with no friends or a very small circle is a very, very secure man. Words spoken by Denzel Washington. It's a very cool video. There's a lot more. I don't want to hold y'all. I need to be out here getting some paper anyway, so I got work to go do. But y'all be cool. Thank you for watching. I hope these words can inspire somebody, maybe help somebody. I'm a little tongue-tied, as you can tell, but I'm going to get back in the flow of this whole YouTube thing. Give me time. But in the meantime, y'all be cool. Stay well. Stay blessed. Much love. Peace.